The first attractive feature to have, and arguably the most important, is having a wide jaw. This is known as jaw is law theory, which basically just means that the jaw is the most important bone inside of our faces. If you have a narrow jaw, you are automatically seen as more feminine, where if you have a wider jaw, it's the opposite, you're seen as more masculine. I've talked about this topic a bunch of times already on this channel, so I'm not going to waste your time anymore on it, so I'm just going to put this in the S tier category. The next attractive trait is being tall. Now, I could sit here and talk all day about why being tall is good, all the benefits it has, or I could just let a woman explain it for you.
Have you ever dated someone that you had to hide from your friends or family?
Oh my God, yes, stop. I'm going to fucking puke. I'm so...
Why did you hide them?
I'm going to puke because, like... I dated a short king once. And
how short?
God damn it, Lauren.
Like, are we talking
I'm sweating. I'm so
small
embarrassed.
person? He looked up to kiss you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Yeah. And like, have you ever been like just worn down by a guy? Like he wore me down to the point.
Well, yeah, you just stooped to his level. Did he have a big dick?
No.
Oh, man.
God.
So what was the upside? He was charming?
He was super goth. Yeah.
Oh, Christina.
So as you can tell from the clip, if you're short, you always have to compensate with something else. This is what you'll also hear online. When people are short, they are told to be confident, they are told to be funny, they are told to get a good job, to do all this stuff. Whereas when you're tall, you're just enough. You don't have to do anything. You can just live your life, be who you want to, and you don't have to do all of this compensating. Now, like I said, there's many, many other benefits to being tall, like being perceived as a leader. There's a reason why the average US leader is 6 foot or taller, even though 6 foot people in the US are a minority. Yet they make up the majority of the US presidents. There's a reason for that. This isn't coincidence. So generally speaking, being tall has 0 downsides, I would say. And this will also go into the S tier category. Having a full head of hair. The biggest benefit having a full head of hair isn't actually the looks it gives you. The benefit having a full head of hair is that your mental health is in check. Because people take their hair for granted. If you have a full head of hair, you're not going to stand in front of the mirror and looking at your bald spots, like trying out fringe haircuts to cover up the balding spots, all that type of stuff. You're not going to do any of that. If you have a full head of hair, you're just going to go on with your day, and that's it. And that is by far the biggest benefit of having a full head of hair. But even attractive men can drop by 2 points in the SMV category by just balding. And for that reason, I'm going to put having a full head of hair also in the S tier category. It is very important for the vast majority of men on this planet, because I know there are bald people who look good, like Jason Statham. But the thing is, you don't have a skull like Jason Statham, alright? This is known as a warrior skull, wide jawline, thick brow ridge, high set cheekbones, all that kind of stuff. The vast majority of us, we have this estrogen alien head shape where if we turn bald, we look like an egg. So yeah, for the vast majority of us, being bald is quite literally a dead sentence. And for that reason, I'm going to put having a full head of hair in S there. Having a small nose. So just like my other video talking about ugly traits, the nose isn't that important if you're a dude. And I'm not going to repeat myself too much. Basically, as long as your nose isn't deformed, it doesn't really matter. If your nose is a little bit big, it's fine. If your nose is a little bit crooked, it's fine. As long as it's not a red flag. So if it's not something that, people point out often, 99% of the times it doesn't matter. And you're probably the only one who's insecure about it looking in the mirror. Now for women, I would put the nose in the S tier category, because for women, having a small nose is very important if they want to look cute. However, since this tier list is mainly talking about men, I'm going to put this in C tier, because having a small nose, yeah, it helps. Yeah, it's going to make you a little bit more attractive, but does it really move the needle like the jaw or being tall? Not really. C tier. Next is having hooded eyes. Now, the hair, jaw, and eyes is what I call the holy trinity of a man's face. Why is that? Because every single woman will always mention one of these three when she's describing an attractive man. It's always his eyes, it's always the texture of his hair, it's always his sharp jawline. It's always these three. She'll never say, oh, I like his nose, or I like his ears, or I like his cheekbones. She'll never say any of that. It's always hair, jaw, eyes. Always, every single time. So when I've put hair and jaw in the S tier category, it's obvious that having hooded eyes is also going to be put in the S tier category, because eyes are arguably just as important, if not more, than the jaw area. Because at the very least, there's a lot of surgeries that will fix your jaw, but not just are there surgeries. Literally just growing out a beard can also fix a weak jaw, can also make you look better. Whereas if you have a bad eye shape, there's not much you can do about it. And so hooded eyes make you look more assertive, more aggressive, and generally speaking, that's what a man should look like if he wants to appeal to the female gaze, whereas bug eyes make you look more submissive, make you look more weak. So yeah, this is going straight into S tier. Straight white teeth. Having straight teeth isn't really rare. It's not really something that's valuable because, generally speaking, most people in the West have straight white teeth because braces exist, because whitening teeth exist, and this isn't the most expensive thing in the world. Which means that basically everyone has access to it, every single peasant that you meet, including me. So you won't stand out by having straight white teeth, but they are the standard. They are very much the baseline. If you're below that baseline, it will very much be a red flag. So it's still important, and that's why I'm going to put them in the B tier category, but it won't make you stand out. Having a thick beard. So I have a full beard right now, and I notice the types of women you attract are very different, let's just say it that way. It will definitely decrease your SMV among the college girls, among the 20-year-olds. If you're right now in college and you let your beard grow out, you're gonna look at least 5 years older because of it. And in turn, the girls who are in your age bracket, they won't like it. They're not gonna like you, basically, if you grow out your beard. And that's also what I've noticed. Ever since I've grown my beard fully, the amount of women that I attract, at least from my college, has just decreased by a lot. However, one thing I notice is among older women, this makes basically zero difference, which I don't know what to think about that. Maybe older women just don't care about it. But I really do think beard is more of a personal thing. It's very subjective. It's not as black and white as having a wide jawline, as having hooded eyes. I don't think a beard is in that category where if you have it or if you don't have it, you're objectively better or worse. But for the sake of this video, I'll just put it in B tier. Having clear skin. So as men, we generally give zero fucks about our skin. As long as our skin isn't riddled with acne. I noticed most guys just don't give a shit, and I'm the same way. As long as I don't have acne all over my face, I really don't care about my skin texture and all that stuff. However, one of the first things I picked up when I started looks maxing is having a skincare routine. And I won't lie, I've had quite a lot of compliments about my skin, both directly and indirectly, from both men and women. And that's because I have this glass type of skin, which is very rare, honestly, among guys. The vast majority of guys are still not doing any type of skincare, so if you go outside, the vast majority of guys have this very rough, dry-looking skin. And if you're the one who has this glass texture skin, you will stand out. And not just will you stand out, girls pick up on this. In case you don't notice, girls are super obsessed with having a clear skin. This is why there's this whole billion-dollar industry called makeup. Girls are really obsessed with hiding the wrinkles, hiding acne, hiding black pores, whatever it is that they have. They always want to have their skin look as young, as youthful as possible. And so they are very much obsessed about the skin texture of themselves, but also not just themselves. They also obsess about this when they look at other people, aka you, so guys. And so as a guy, if you have clear skin, I promise you, this is so important and this is such an important and under the radar feature that I don't hear more guys talk about. This is something more about the female gaze that if you understand, having a clear skin as a guy is so rare. Trust me when I say this. I'm going to college. The vast majority, like 99% of guys just don't have clear skin. It's honestly crazy because the skincare routine literally takes like 5 minutes. So 10 minutes in total, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. And that's it. And just for that, your SMV will definitely go up by at least 1 point. Because trust me when I say this, women are so obsessed with having a clear skin. If you, as a guy, have very clear skin, they will look at it, they will compliment you indirectly, they will mention it. It will definitely make you more attractive in their eyes. And isn't that what you want at the end of the day when it comes to like looks max and all this stuff? Because I know as guys think it's gay to stand in front of the mirror and apply all these moisturizers and cleansers, but if you're being honest with yourself, at the end of the day, you just want to get bitches. And I believe having a skincare routine is so low effort with such high rewards. Any guy should be doing it. So I'm going to be putting this in S tier because, telling you, man, as someone who's going to college with 60-70% women, they care so much about your skin. And if you're the one guy with this glass type of skin, they will talk about it. Promise you, they will. All right, the next is having muscles. And the problem with having muscles is that guys lose themselves when they start training. You know, at the start, when you start training, you get a little bit of lean muscle. And you think, wow, that looks cool. But then you get obsessed with the whole gym culture. You find out about Sam Sulek. All of a sudden, you want to look like him, which, spoiler alert, that's not what girls find attractive. Having a lean, muscular physique is considered the most attractive physique, which, honestly, that's for the better, because that just means that all you need to do is you need to get your noob gained. So you need to go to the gym for 1 or for 2 years. And then you just need to eat healthy, and that's it. You don't have to do all this extra hard work. You just need to get a lean, muscular body, which is possible for 99% of men to get. And you're already at your peak physique, at least when it comes to muscles. And so because having muscles is never a bad thing, I'm also going to put this in S tier because I know that there's this very big cope in this community, you know, calling ugly guys who go to the gym gym cells because they focus on the gym, but they're ugly. But the thing is, I'd rather be ugly and in shape than be ugly and fat. And muscles aren't there just for women. I've noticed personally, when you get this more muscular physique, it helps you in your day-to-day life. You're stronger. So, for example, helping your mom with the groceries, or how men just respect you more on a subconscious level, because at the end of the day, human beings have a very primal, have a very animalistic, subconscious thinking level, where if someone's bigger than you, you just automatically respect them for pretty much zero reason, just because they're bigger than you. And having muscles helps you a lot with this. It helps that, you know, people won't pick on you randomly. So yeah, to me, having muscles is just a net benefit, regardless if you're ugly, regardless if you're attractive. Having muscles will always be better. It's never bad to have muscles, so S there. Alright, the next is having broad shoulders. And if you're watching this, you're most likely a dude. But I want you to imagine that you see a woman in the distance. Now, when you see her from a very far distance, you're not going to see her face because that's blurry from a distance. What you will see, however, is the shape of her body. So you will see, for example, if she has wide hips or small hips. That's her frame, kind of like the frame of a painting if you think about it. Now imagine she sees you walking from a long distance in this street. She won't see your face that much. But you know what she will see? Your shoulders and your waist. And that's your frame. And so when a man has broad shoulders and a small waist, this is the equivalent of women having that wide hip, wide boob body that they all want. Now I'll say one thing, women generally speaking look less at bodies than men. Studies have shown this. Face at the end of the day is way more important than your body. So you can have the best physique in the world, you can have the widest frame in the world. If you look like an ogre, they won't care at the end of the day. You know, they might look at you from a distance or at the corner of their eyes when they see you walking. But the minute they notice that, you know, an ugly head is attached to that good-looking body, then they'll just walk past you. So yeah, while I do think having broad shoulders is very important, as in it gives you that dominant look, what that women love, it's not going to change you that much, you know. It's not as important as having a good-looking face. It's not as important as having full head of hair. So I'm going to put this in B tier. I would say it's important, but it's not a deal breaker. All right, next is body language, and this is such an underrated thing, but good body language, good posture, all that kind of stuff, it goes such a long way. Now, with the rise of the gym cells, one thing I've noticed is at my college, I sometimes see guys who are shredded, right? They have more muscle than me, they're jacked, but then they have this weird, shy, beta looking body language. And it just looks so uncanny weird because anytime I think of someone who's muscular and in shape, I just think of, the generic Chad who's walking with a straight head, shoulders back, arms swinging, all that kind of stuff. But at my school, I'm seeing these dudes, bro. Like, they're literally lean, muscular. You can see the veins on their arms. But they're still over here walking around with their head down. When they speak very silently. And it's just so off, bro. It's so weird. So definitely body language is definitely important. But I will say body language is just a multiplier. So if you're ugly, well, a 0 times 100 is still 0. But if your looks maxing and you're slowly becoming more attractive, you should also work on your body language. So don't be like one of these guys at my school, Don't get a jacked body thinking, oh, that's enough. If you have a really good body, then you should also walk like someone with that type of body. But that being said, because it's a multiplier, because I don't think having dominant body language while you look very nerdy, for example, will work, I'm gonna put this in C tier because it just depends really. Body language definitely helps you, but yeah, it won't do you too much. So naturally I had to mention light-skinned people here, but I believe this has to do with contrast. So basically if a pale white person has thick, dark eyebrows, these eyebrows will stand out a lot because of the pale skin, if that makes sense. Whereas if you put these same eyebrows on a brown person, it's not going to stand out as much. And so contrast is very important in looking beautiful. This is also why, for example, white people can have blue eyes, no one cares. But then when a brown dude has blue eyes, it stands out so much and all of a sudden he looks so attractive because contrast is so important. But the thing is, most features just benefit light-skinned people because darker people with blue eyes, with green eyes, it's very rare. You're almost never gonna see that. That's a very rare feature to have. However, light-skinned people with thick, dark eyebrows, that's not rare. I mean, I have it myself. I have thick black eyebrows and I'm very light-skinned. I'm pretty much white. So this creates this very sharp contrast between my skin and my eyebrows. And because of this, my eyes stand out more, which is funny because my eyes, they're just brown, they're nothing special. But you can see how this contrast creates a more attractive person, whereas I would know for sure, bro, if I was darker skinned, if I was browner, this contrast wouldn't exist. I would probably look more like an Indian. No one would give a shit. People have made comments about my eyes in school, and I promise you, bro, if I was browner, that wouldn't be the case. It's just because of this contrast, because of the pale white skin in contrast to the thick dark eyebrows. It accentuates my eyes, and that's why people notice it. Even though I have boring brown eyes, which theoretically shouldn't even stand out. Now, the thing is, studies have shown that people are generally attracted to their own race the most, so take this information with a grain of salt. However, one thing I do notice is in globalized cities, so cities in the West, white people are seeked the most. So do with this information what you want to. I'm gonna put being light-skinned in A tier. Don't underestimate your skin color. It's very important. I don't know what you can do about it. I don't know if there's even anything you can do about it. I do know celebrities are known for whitening their skins. There's proof of this. You can Google it if you want to. But yeah, other than that, I would say having light skin is being light skinned is it's pretty important if you want to look attractive. But yeah, that's a video, man. Make sure to hit the like and the comment, helps the video out. And yeah, other than that, that's the video.